All right, hello class. We have made it to lesson 6 in unit 7. And today's first activity deals with a jumping flea. Apologies if anybody is scared or creeped out by this flea, but I wanted to have the effect of a jumping flea on there. So there we have it. For this activity, the little app is going to be fun to play with. I'll show it to you quickly here, but I won't spend too much time on it. You scroll down a little bit here to jumping flea, and it's right here. And what you're going to do, you can move the bug to wherever you would like to move it to, and however far you want it to jump. Let's say you want it to go. Let's say we want it to be. We'll start it at 2, and let's say we want it to go to the left 5 spots. So it's at 2. It's going to go left 5 spots as soon as I hit jump. So I hit jump, and there we go, 5 spots, and you can see it ends up at -3. So you can feel free to play around with that, but I want to show you how this is going to work just using just the number line. All right, so flea is jumping around on the number line. If the flea starts at 1 and jumps 4 units to the right, where does it end up? Well, let's go ahead and use a little drawing tool. So it's at 1, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So where is this at? This is at the number 5. All right, it's at the number 5. And so if it's at the number 5, how far away from 0 is this? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. All right, if the flea starts at 1 again and jumps 4 units to the left, where does it end up? Okay, so 4 units to the left, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be here. Okay, I'll put a little mark on it, and let's count how far back it is from 0. So this would be -1, -2, -3, -3. So how far away from 0 is this? Well, this is now just going to be 1, 2, 3 spots away from 0. All right, so that's worth mentioning. All right, just 3 spots away. If the flea starts at 0, starts right here, and jumps 3 units away, where might it end up? Well, it might end up over here at -3. Or if it was starting here, it could also go forward 1, 2, 3 spots here and end up at +3. So it could end up either at -3 or +3. All right, if the flea jumps 7 units and lands at 0, where could it have started? Okay, so this is a little different. It's jumping 7 units, but it ends up at 0. Where did it start from? Well, it would have to have started 7 away, right? So this is 5 away. So 6, 7. So it could have started here at 7 and made it the 7 units back to 0. But it also could have started 7 units to the left, right? So this is 3. This would be 4, 5, 6, 7. So it could have started at -7 as well, and it would have still ended up at 0. So either -7 or +7, they're 7 units away from 0. All right, so this gets us to our key point of today's lesson, right here. The absolute value of a number is the distance it is from 0. The flea is currently to the left of 0, and the absolute value of its location is 4. So where on the number line is it? So it's to the left of 0, so we have to go this way. And its absolute value, that means its distance from 0 is 4, so it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4 spots away, and you just need to recognize that that spot is -4. Okay, so on the number line, it has to be at -4. All right. If the flea is to the left of 0, so it's on this side, so it has to be a negative amount, and the absolute value of its location is 5, where on the number line is it? Well, it has to be at -5. The absolute value is 5. That means the distance from 0 is 5. And it's to the left, so it has to be at -5. -5. All right. If the flea is to the right of 0, that means it's in the positives, and the absolute value of its location is 2.5, where on the number line is it? Well, it's going to be at 2.5. It's going to be in between 2 and 3. So you can just call this 2.5. Okay? So the idea being is that here we have one situation where the absolute value is 5, and it has to be at -5 because it's to the left of 0. We have another situation where the location is 2.5 and its value is 2.5. So you can see that we're just looking at the distance from 0. That's all we're looking for when we talk about the absolute value. And the distance is always going to be a positive amount. You're always going to be going some positive amount towards 0. You're going to be taking a certain number of steps or moving a certain number of notches to get to 0. All right, so number 2, we use the notation, and these little brackets right here, these brackets mean absolute value. So this right here says the absolute value of -2. And that means the distance of -2 from 0 on the number line. And so you can see up here, -2 would be right here. And its distance from 0 is 1, 2. So it would be 2. Its value would be 2, even though we are talking about a point at -2 on the number line. Because we're talking about absolute value, it's just the distance from 0, and so it's 2 is what its value is. So what does the absolute value of -7 mean? Well, it means absolute value, so you should know that. It means that it is 7 spots away from 0. 7 spots away from 0. And its value is 7. Right? There's a -7 inside the brackets, but its value is 7. So because we're talking about absolute value, that means that its actual value is always going to be a positive amount, the distance from 0. So what does 1.8 mean, and what is its value? The absolute value of 1.8? Well, it means that it is 1.8 away from 0, and its value is 1.8. So we can say that here. It is 1.8 spots away from 0, and its value is 1.8. So the value is always going to be positive when you're talking about absolute value.